There's been this idea trickle here on YouTube concentrated around this notion that personal style is dead. Usually, the arguments about the death of personal style say that social media, algorithms, and fast-moving trends are the reason why more people are choosing to dress more similarly than ever before. And in the last two videos that I've posted, I've talked about how personal style is out and how algorithm dressing is in. But in this video, I'm changing tones and I'm going to give you 3 reasons why personal style is in the best place it's ever been. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Drew. What to do? It's nice to meet you. This is in defense of personal style. Cultural appropriation or appreciation. We all have a culture that we're born into. Growing up in the United States, there is the culture of the country. Growing up in the specific state you live in, there is the culture of that state. And more personally, there is the culture in which your race or ethnicity generates. No matter who you are or what part of the world you come from, you have these layers that define your culture. When it comes to personal style, the debate around authenticity is the most prevalent debate. Should X person wear X garment if they don't have the ethnic or cultural ties to that garment? For example, Western wear was trending in 2024, but should people who have never spent time on a farm or a ranch be allowed to wear this style of clothing? Should Beyonce, for example, be allowed to promote her new country album? And my answer to this question is yes, yes, and yes. And here's why. There is no culture in my eyes more sacred than another. We all bring dynamic ideas and characteristics to our communities. And in the fashion world, 2024 saw so many examples of appreciating, honoring, and highlighting digital subcultural groups. In my opinion, there are a lot of benefits to people wearing different clothes from different cultures that they may not have grown up with, even if those styles are styles that are most popular or most prevalent on social media. Personally, I love Japanese fashion, and I've probably talked about Japanese brands and Japanese denim one too many times on this channel. My current outfit has a ton of pieces, several pieces that are Japanese. You could argue that because of my inclination to take from Japanese culture and to take from Japanese designers, that my style, my personal style, is devoid of personality. But what I love about fashion is that there is no ultimate judge that gets to decide what's acceptable and what's not acceptable within the fashion world. Conversations, dialogue, and public opinion tend to be the guiding force for what we all consider to be acceptable within society and within the fashion world. And it's one of the cool things about fashion. In a lot of ways, it's one of the things that I love about fashion because fashion can feel very democratic in that instance. But I digress. In 2025, personal style is in the best place it's ever been because more people than ever are given the space to express who they are through the lens of the cultures that they interact with the most. Yes, there is a commodification of aesthetics and cores and trends, but there is also an expansion of culture, conversations, and ideas around these same worlds. One of the examples of the appreciation of subcultures is the fact that trends are actually losing their relevance in 2025. This is a big deal. The fact that normcore and office siren, eclectic grandpa, and streetwear can all exist as forms of popular culture prove that personal style is actually more personal than ever before. That you have more choice to dress as you wish and to pull inspiration from all of these different sources to make outfits that truly are exemplary of your interest or of your identity and to appreciate all of them. One of my favorite animes of all time is Cowboy Bebop. And if you love Cowboy Bebop too, let me know down in the comments because I'm trying to find some more Cowboy Bebop stands out there. I think Cowboy Bebop does a fantastic job of illustrating how multivariate culture is. and how the appreciation of culture and style has only moved towards a more open fashion world. Cowboy Bebop is a concoction of a show that implements American Western themes, Chinese themes, as the locations are based off of different locations in Hong Kong as well, aeronautical science fiction, space, Japanese themes, and there are so many other elements that take place in Cowboy Bebop. It's packed with various cultures, identity, and plot. And just like social media today, the story benefits from the fact that all of these cultures are mixing in a pot, coming together, and they're making different dishes that are all equally interesting, beautiful, and have depth to them as well. You don't have to live the life in order to wear the clothes. There are people who will try to coerce you into thinking that in order to wear certain pieces that you need to live a certain lifestyle or be someone who lives in a certain region of the world, and that's just not the case. At least not in 2025. I talked about this idea a little bit last video by saying people didn't dress punk, they were punk. That was sort of the idea, that in the past people were the subculture. Now people adopt the subculture for their own personal means, whether it be posting on social media or whether it be flirting with different styles, depending on what interests them or trying to figure out their personal style. But as an argument against myself in the previous video, I'm going to ask you and myself, what does it mean to be authentic in 2025? When I say that you don't need to live the life in order to wear the clothes, I'm attacking what it means to dress authentically. And in 2025, there is a gap between what it means to be authentic and what it means to be a fan of different aesthetics. And everyone's going to come up with the rules for what they think it means to be authentic for themselves or their family or this group or that group. But when I define what it means to be authentic personally for my personal style, there are 4 rules that I try to follow that help me make decisions about whether I'm going to buy something, wear something, and whether or not it resonates with me, that feeling you get when you put something on and you feel like you look good. That's the way I feel about this outfit, right now. I try to ask myself these 4 questions. 1, is what I'm wearing something I think is cool? Duh, that's a good question. 2, what about it is cool? Going deeper. 3, what culture does this item originate from? So, what is the origin story of this item? And 4, does this item resonate with how I want to express myself to other people? And it's not about answering all 4 of these questions at once. I'm not just walking into different retail locations here in New York City and asking myself all these rhetorical questions, walking in circles. No, usually the first one puts something on my radar. Is it cool? If I see something that I like online or in a store, is it cool? Do I like it? Is it something that I find interesting? And then I kind of go through the list as I'm getting more and more interested in the item. And then the last question is huge for helping me understand whether or not I'm going to actually buy or purchase the item, whether it's vintage, whether it's new, whether I'm buying it online, whether I'm buying it in person, or whatever scenario that I'm getting the item. These are the things I think about. My argument is, more people than ever use these sort of guidelines to shop more consciously. I think that there are actually more aware and observant and conscious buyers in 2025 than there have ever been. And therefore, more people than ever have true personal style because they're actually buying things that they find interesting and that they want to display on social media. I think we all see that the authentic creators, the authentic videos online, those are the videos that win. And in order to have authenticity, I believe that there's got to be a level of authenticity from top to bottom or bottom to top. And that includes what's on top of your head, from your hat down to your jacket, down to your pants, down to your shoes. All the things that you wear also have to have a level of authenticity and resonance with that individual. And that's what creates a real, true personal style. The second point I want to make is that there is no such thing as basic. What does it mean to be basic in 2025? Urban Dictionary defines basic as an individual only interested in mainstream or popular things. Dictionary.com defines it as someone or something that is unoriginal, unexceptional, or mainstream. Ouch, that hurts. That's a cold. You call someone basic, unoriginal, unexceptional, or mainstream. That's That's tough. Here's what I want you to think about. There was an image that went viral late in 2024 of a group of girls in Alabama wearing essentially the same outfit, a pair of light wash jeans and black shirts of some sort. The internet roared in unison, calling these women basic. But what I think most people fail to realize is that all groups dress and use language according to a subset of codes. If you're into tailoring, for example, there are definitely less of you than college girls going out on a Saturday night. But if you were in a room with all of your friends who are also into tailoring, there's an argument to be made that you would be considered basic amongst that subculture, amongst that group of individuals. The same can be said for people who wear baggy jeans or the people who wear Balenciaga boots. My argument is we are all basic to the subcultures that we pull inspiration from. Yeah, basic.
You're basic.
Very, 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 very few people dress in a one-of-one way. If you're a sneakerhead, you probably dress like other sneakerheads. If you love corsets, there are other corset wearers who probably have a similar style to yours. All of these pockets of fashion are pieces on the board of a larger puzzle. And in the case of the Alabama girls, I just think it's more acceptable to make fun of this subset of society in 2025. And that's why this created so much hoopla. That's why this image created so much attention. There is no such thing as basic because we are all basic to the subcultures that we pull inspiration from. And on the flip side, what makes us all unique is that when we come together, we all bring something from our own inspiration to the table that is unique from every other person's reference that sits at the table. Our uniqueness is derived from the fact that while, yes, there are elements of ourselves when we spend time with people who are like us that might be basic, but when we spend time with people who aren't like us, which are a lot of people, majority of people are not like you, that's when you start to see the variability and the variance in personal style. And that's why I would say personal style is in a really, really unique place in 2025. Let's get a word in for today's sponsor, Squarespace. Are you interested in making your very own website for a brand or creative project? Squarespace offers a comprehensive amount of features to help you create the website that you've always wanted. If you want to sell your products direct to consumer, or if you want to showcase your body of work, Squarespace makes it easy to do that and more. Currently, I'm using my Squarespace website as a hub for all of my content and as a way to direct those interested to my podcast and social media. If you need a design to help nudge you into creating your first website, this is your sign. Visit squarespace.com/DrewJoyner for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. The last point I'll make, the third point, is that personal style isn't actually for the majority of people. There was a really smart comment made on one of my recent videos by a commenter named If It Was Easy 9219 that says, I'd say personal styling has always been for a small group of people. Historically, most just wear what society tells them to. TikTok and Instagram are just the newest sources. It's not profound or bold to say personal style is dead, ain't changed. In general, I would agree with this. When I look at the arc of history, I'm not a fashion historian, but when I just understand how history works and the outfits that were worn in 1925 compared to 1825 compared to 1725, and you look at who had personal style in each of those millennia, I would say that, yeah, majority of people didn't have personal style, but we're in 2025 now. And I actually think that more people than ever care and have and interact with this idea of personal style than ever before. 5 billion people use social media every single day. That is over 60% of the population of the world. Social media and the real world can often feel like they are equally as important to each other. And trends on social media, even if they don't always feel like they're real in the real world, they feel like they're real in the real world, if you get what I'm saying. But in the case of personal style, we are all exposed to some of the most incredibly dressed individuals because of social media that we would have otherwise never known about without the platforms. But because of these platforms and because of these creators, there's an argument to be made that personal style is more prevalent than ever before. And while there are elements I agree with the commenter, if it was easy 9219, I do think that there is an argument to be made that, yeah, I mean, in the past, people didn't care about personal style, but now people actually do care about personal style. We're having conversations about personal style. People are defending personal style in ways that are really interesting on my videos that I'm not seeing on someone like Mina videos, or I'm not seeing on Emma Chamberlain's videos, or I'm not seeing on other creators' videos. And the way in which the world of social media works, I actually think it benefits this idea that personal style is flourishing. You can wear an outfit, I can talk to a camera, and ideas can spread to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. And I think that's a win for personal style. It might not be a win for the environment. It might not be a win for people who don't like how social media culture has influenced others, but I see it as a win for personal style. What do you think? Is personal style dead, or is it alive and well, or somewhere completely in between or off the spectrum of those two questions? Let me know down in the comments. As always, I'm spreading peace, love, and positivity in 2025. So that means I'm spreading peace, love, and positivity to you and everyone who's alive. Wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful rest of your day. A bientôt. Peace. Yo, what is good post vid? Here are the fist bumps for the one time. Let me give y'all left-handed fist bumps. Bop! Thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. Here's the second one. Bop! I appreciate you guys so much for staying to the end. It's your boy, Drew. What it do? If you've never made it to the post vid, this is where we just talk, ask questions. I see the post vid comments more than I see the other comments. So if you have a comment, I have a question for you. Comment #PVV when I ask and you answer this question. My question for you guys today is personal style, the pursuit of developing a personal style, is it something that's important to you? I would say over the course of my 4 years posting on YouTube, I've talked not a lot about personal style, but personal style is something that has always drived kind of the way I think about developing outfits online. And maybe that's because I'm making these videos and I'm talking to an audience and I'm talking to you guys that I think about personal style so much. If I wasn't like communicating to the world in this way, maybe I wouldn't care as much. But is personal style only something for online or for magazines or for displaying kind of who you are if you're an individual who has a platform? I don't know. Let me know if you care about personal style, if it's something that you strive to develop or not. #PVV when you answer. We'll see you guys very soon. I'm going to Paris Fashion Week too. That's happening. So let me know if you want to see anything from Paris as well. #PVV when you answer. All right, guys. Love you immensely. Can I even talk? Love you immensely. Drew Joyner out. Peace.